Right. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Jodie Neal, who's Horse Riding with Confidence Scotland sponsored rider. Jodie's a successful eventer competing on this beautiful girl, Clover, aka Pops, at 2-star now. So,
Yep.
Jodie and I were just going to have a little review of the 2018 season. Now that it's well and truly come to an end.
It is.
So, Jodie, you know we've done before a kind of 3-stage analysis
Yeah.
of how things are going. So let's do that regarding
Okay.
the season.
Okay.
So we'll start with what went well this season. What were your achievements and what are you really proud of from 2018?
I'm really proud of the fact that we stepped up twice. So we have been running at novice 1-star for a couple of seasons now. And the aim of this season was to step up and do an intermediate, which we did few of,
Yeah.
maybe 3 of in the season. And then we stepped up again. I felt stepped up again and did a 2-star by the end of the season. So that was, that went really well. And that was a big achievement, I think, and was an aim and certainly a goal that we achieved. So I was
Something
happy
you've
with
been
that.
working towards for a few years, and so you've successfully made that step up.
Absolutely.
So that's great. So
Yeah.
well done with that.
Really good.
Okay, that's really good. And then obviously every season has its challenges and difficulties,
Yeah.
and all of us sometimes do things that don't work out quite so well, or maybe we make some mistakes. Us only human. So anything that comes to mind for you that if you had the season again, for example, if you could repeat it, that you would do differently, or any mistakes that you felt that you need to learn from?
Yeah, definitely. I think our step up to intermediate has been the first real step I've felt. Up until that point, she always stepped up and found the next level straightforward and it wasn't a problem. And then all of a sudden we stepped up to intermediate and I felt like we were playing with the big boys. It felt serious.
Right.
And so one thing I would have done differently was our very first intermediate at Catton Park that she did. I focused a lot on the difficult parts of the course. So I
Right.
rode them positively and rode them as well as I could, and then the really straightforward part was the only part that we actually had an issue with. So she
Right.
was sailing around her first intermediate, was doing really, really well, and we got to the second to last fence, which was a nothing fence. It was just a log. And I just sat far too quietly, didn't ride proactively, and we had a silly stop, which she didn't really deserve because she isn't a
Right.
horse that really
Right.
deserved to have that 20 on her record, I didn't think. So in hindsight, maybe was overtired. I'd worked all week. I'd gone down. I'd driven 5 hours myself on the Friday night. We'd arrived midnight on the Friday night.
Gosh.
Yeah, and I dressaged 8:30 the next morning. So maybe in hindsight, I tried to do too much.
Yeah.
It's probably the case, but that was a big learning curve for me. Was ride every single fence as if it were the first one.
Yeah, so that is a definite lesson that all of us can learn from, and
Yeah.
learn from your example to ride every fence
Yeah.
as if it was the only one we were doing, as if it was the
Exactly.
last one.
Yeah, rather than just
And,
almost take for granted.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, for her, the cumulative effect of jumping her first intermediate, I maybe just was a bit too
Yes.
complacent. It's
Yeah.
probably the
It's funny, I always remember in school exams being told, concentrate on the exam questions that you find easy first.
Yeah.
And you can get really good marks for them.
Absolutely.
And then the more challenging ones that you know you're not going to get quite such good marks on,
Yeah.
do them kind of later.
Yeah,
So it's sort of
definitely.
similar
I think
thing.
that's a similar
So,
analogy.
yeah.
So on hindsight, I would have ridden that one far better. It wasn't really reflective of the round that she had. She was phenomenal that day, and so I suppose I sort of felt I didn't play my part. I kind of let her down there. So that was a big learning curve for me. But you know, just have to take these things and
learn from them.
Learn from them, work with it, and you probably won't do it again.
Yeah, excellent. So, okay, so that was a sort of slight negative, but something obviously to learn from,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can turn that negative into a positive. But let's just finish the exercise on reminding yourself and me and anybody who's watching this on what went well, what you can be proud of.
Yeah, well, that was our first intermediate. We then went on to get our clear cross country
Yay!
without issues at second to last, which she was just Richmond intermediate was probably stands out. She was absolutely amazing, just fantastic, sailed round it, which then gave us the confidence to think we could go down to Gatcombe and do the CIC 2-star there.
Yes.
which again, it was a course that was causing so many problems. We stood in the lorry park and heard retirement after elimination, and she completed and just felt amazing, just
Excellent.
felt sheer class. And so it's lovely feeling to think that that's not beyond her. So again, it's a building block, and we'll work on that. We'll improve again on the 2-star that we did, and hopefully next season aim to do even better.
Excellent, brilliant. So all in all, a good season,
Yeah.
lots of learning and lots of success and lots of positives.
Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you.